You can't ever do it again. You do it once, and then you're done.
Even when like we get 5 minutes in and you're like, this is rough. Like the Aussie one, you should upload that too to the Patreon. The Aussie outtakes.
It's so embarrassing though. So embarrassing.
That's why they go to Patreon.
I know. But then people know about them, you know?
I wonder how humming was invented.
It was probably just the first vocalization.
Yeah, it's like cave people and whatever, but I want to know who the cave guy was that was like, and then like people are like, oh shit. Or,
yeah.
Like whatever the cave equivalent of oh shit is.
Someone outside the cave like hears it going on and they wander in and they just can't help but shake their booty a little bit. What are you doing? They couldn't say that because they don't have language yet, but they hear that humming and they're just like, oh, I've got to follow this glorious sound. I've never heard such an amazing thing. And now we have a podcast in space.
That's right. What's that podcast called, Ryan?
60 Cycle Hum. Hey, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steven. This is 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing, playing. Whew, podcast. We just said podcast like 15 times.
That was some thick water. I just choked on it a little bit. All right, let's get into it. Or do we want to start with the topic or do we want to start with an ad this time?
Let's start with a topic. Do you want to start with an ad?
No, let's start with the topic. You're right.
The sponsors.
People, let's start with the song.
We should start with the song.
People always leave during the song, so that would be a really bad idea.
That'd be really interesting.
Okay, so guys, here's the topic. Marc Maron hates Joe Bonamassa. There it is. There's the whole discussion.
Dude, Marc Maron is on a tear right now.
I love it. Hopefully by the time this episode airs, he hasn't been canceled or something like
What's
that.
What's he going to get canceled
I don't know. He's out there ripping everyone a new one. It's beautiful. Maybe he'll rip the wrong person a new one, and we'll find out how awful he is.
He's already ripped Shane Gillis, Andrew Schultz, and there was a third guy he called out. I don't remember who. Probably Tony.
Wasn't he trashing on Rogan
Tony,
too?
Did he trash on Rogan?
I think
I don't know.
Like he stopped his podcast and he's just been out for blood.
Oh, did he? I didn't know he stopped his podcast.
Yeah, that's
I just know he has that. I've been seeing the clips from the special, and he basically, I know, like not by name, but he went after Schultz and Gillis, and probably Rogan, and
is your iPad connected to the thing?
Yes.
Okay, you play the clip.
You want to play the clip?
Let's just play the clip.
I didn't know you wanted to play the clip,
and everyone can hear what we're talking about. But yeah, Mark went on a wonderful little rant about blues guitarists.
That Clapton story too.
Yeah, but
he
like
was a
Clapton,
dark guy.
Yeah, I guess. But why does he play? He's kind of a hack. You know,
I love this. Wow, Clapton is a hack. I love that.
A blues hack. Yeah. A bit.
Wow.
I mean, he had pretty good phrasing, but I think that his best work, oddly, was with like John Mayall and the Blues Breakers, the first band he was in, when he first realized, like, if I just crank this, I can still play these old dumb blues licks and sound like a genius. So,
wow.
What?
I love you.
He'll cop to that.
Okay. Joe Bonamassa.
Bonamassa is a savant, but I don't know who he is. Do you?
No, but that's kind of why I like him. But
I don't like him.
You think he keeps he keeps himself hidden in order for us to not find out?
I just think he's a sort of like naturally gifted guitar player.
Yeah.
Who can play the fuck out of anything. And he's a good mimic. And he's like, you know, he can play like anybody. Yeah. But like, if you can fake feeling, who do I believe? You know, like you got to figure like Freddie King can only play Freddie King. And when Freddie King plays Freddie King, you're like, holy fuck. This guy's really in it.
I love that. I love that. I think the thing that I love about it is that Clapton and Bonamassa are two players that get teased a lot in the corners of the internet where I like to hang out. And to hear someone, a public figure.
Hold on, real quick. Do we need to credit that clip?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so that was from the Bad Friends podcast.
Right.
Marc Maron appearing. I don't know if you're going to play the video, but
I'll probably put it up.
Just for people who don't, even if you watch the video and you don't know, that was the Bad Friends podcast.
Yeah. And so, like, if you or I are on our show or
Right.
on the internet somewhere, bad mouthing Clapton or Bonamassa, people can be like, well, you know, that's Ryan and Steve. They're
Yeah.
not really blues boys anyway.
They're not blues boys. They're nobodies. They're hacks. They couldn't, you know.
Right. And all those things are true.
They couldn't retrieve Joe Bonamassa's guitar pick.
Right. We're not worthy to even say his name.
What kind of music do these guys like anyway? They're probably trying to just get the next Taylor Swift album for free or whatever.
But Marc Maron is someone who legitimately loves blues music,
Right.
blues rock, and all of it. Like he's a big old fan of this stuff. He's someone who speaks with authority on these things. He's someone who does a lot of like really fun observation as part of his comedy of, you know, like celebrities and whoever happens to be speaking in the world or doing things in the world and stuff like that. It is really fun to hear Marc Maron saying things that I agree with when it comes to Eric Clapton and Joe Bonamassa. Like it is, oh man, it feels so good. Thank you, Mark.
I actually think it was interesting because his like take on Clapton is pretty negative, to just be like, yeah, dude's a hack. Like he figured out one trick and he's been exploiting it ever since. Like his best band was his first band and everything after that's been on like cruise control. The Bonamassa thing, I think, is a little more
there's some nuance there.
Nuanced, because he's acknowledging that the dude's a monster player. It's just that, yeah, to that point, I feel like I mentioned
Joe Bonamassa might as well be an AI.
Yeah. I mean, and is that good? This criticism has probably been leveled before at Joe Bonamassa. But there are people who love him. And I think, you know, the people who love, in some ways, like the people who love Joe Bonamassa are the same people mentally
Where are you going with this?
love Polyphia.
Okay, sure.
Where it's like, there's always going to be a detractor who's like, yeah, Tim Henson's a monster, but like there's nothing behind it.
Right.
And I don't necessarily agree with that take in either direction, but
people get excited about different elements of music.
Right.
And there's people who definitely, they want to hear high level performance skill stuff in their music. That's not me. Like I want to hear a vibe, an attitude. I want to hear some danger. I want to hear the music rattling off the tracks. You know,
Sure.
like I want an element of dangerous unpredictability. I want an element of simplicity. I want an element of like, I want to go learn that riff right now, not an element of, oh, I could never play that. But
yeah. I mean, I kind of want both for what it's worth.
There's very little music that I listen to that I couldn't sit down and play myself, because I think that's part of what I enjoy.
Right.
Is I enjoy feeling like the artist I'm listening to is on the other side of a ping pong table for me. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it feels like we're communing in some way when I'm listening to music that I like. Like I don't like this because I'm connecting with the fact that they're better than me at being songwriters and doing what they do, because they're obviously able to do it professionally and stuff like that. But I feel like I could have a musical relationship with them.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting take. I think that there's like, whenever I hear people praise Joe Bonamassa, it's usually just that he's like really good. But I think Marc Maron, he has like a really great point where I don't know, do people listen to Joe Bonamassa and say like that song spoke to me at a visceral level? Like, I don't know.
Right.
Does Joe, let me ask this question, because I know we have people in our audience who disagree with us on Joe Bonamassa.
And probably disagree with us about everything.
So
that's why
like
they listen.
the take that I have is like, is there a Joe Bonamassa song when the first time you heard it, or maybe not the first time you heard it, but the first time you processed it, you were like, you felt like deep emotion, that you were like fighting back tears? Because I'll say, like, they're like Haley Williams just put out 17 singles. She didn't put out an album. She just dropped 17 songs.
It's so hard to date these days.
It's kind of weird.
Singles.
Yeah, I know. And like there's some like real emotional, like visceral stuff in there.
Right.
Where you listen to it and you're just like, she writes 2 songs trashing the city of Nashville, which is her adopted hometown, which is feels like a pretty bold move.
Her band is Paramore, right?
Paramore. Yeah.
I'm gonna say I've never personally been into Paramore. Every time I hear a song, I'm like, this isn't for me for some reason.
Right.
If you look at the parts, it's like, oh, this seems like something Ryan would be into. For some reason, I've never really connected. But I've heard clips of those songs. I've heard clips of Paramore and been like, oh, no, I hear a person in that.
Right.
I hear a personality in that.
She has a very distinctive voice.
And it's not just the voice. It's you
I mean, a voice as a writer.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you hear the person. You hear the people in it. Where going back to Mark's point about Joe Bonamassa, who is he?
Yeah.
I hear a collection of tropes. I hear a collection of references. I hear an execution of excellent, highly skilled guitar playing. I don't know that I have ever heard who Joe is.
Right.
I've heard what he thinks the blues is. I've heard what he thinks blues and classic rock is through his playing. It all feels like a bit of a pod person sort of situation. Like a pod person came and found a blues player and took over their life. And now they're smiling and going through the motions. Like, yes, I'm blues guitar man. And the people who love him can't seem to really get this perspective. They think that we're trashing on his ability. No one's trashing on his ability. We're trashing on his inauthenticity. There's something about him that to many, many people feels patently fake.
And for what it's worth, like I don't think it is, because he's been doing it for so long.
I think he's very sincere in his skill. I don't think he's sincere in communicating anything through that skill.
Right. I'm trying to figure out if I can.
What is Joe Bonamassa heartbroken over? Not being able to get the guitar that he wanted to buy?
Right. And some of that is, honestly, some of that's public image too. Like,
sure.
Where when you become the collector guy, and it's interesting, like you don't really hear those kinds of discussion, and maybe because it's the public eye of it, but I don't feel like you hear. There's certainly criticism of people like John Five, of Wes Borland. Juan Eldret just sold like 950 items on Reverb. Like, that's crazy.
Sure.
Granted, long, 20-year plus career, 30-year career.
I feel like I hear who Wes Borland is in his playing, though.
No, and that's my point. Is like nobody's looking at these people. John Five, massive collection. My point is massive collection. Wes Borland, massive collection. Juan Eldret, massive collection. But nobody looks at these people and goes like, that guy's ruining a market for the rest of us. Where because Joe Bonamassa, and he'll just say like, well, y'all just are jealous haters. He's getting in fights with Rhett Scholl on Instagram, which is like,
I mean, that's all like,
I don't
side tangents about,
but my point is, it's like he's got something about that in his personality where it's like, to what you're saying, like his sadness is there's political protests in Los Angeles, so I'm going to have to drive the long way to buy another vintage guitar.
Right.
That's his next blues song. That's his
most recent sadness that he's experienced. But like, and it's not just because people will probably try to think we're going the direction, oh, well, the various kings of blues, Freddie, Albert, and BB, and Muddy Waters, and everyone else,
sure,
in the grand tapestry, the family tree of blues. Oh man, they must have all this struggle in their life, and you can hear the delta, and like there's all that people will wax poetic over, and it's not even that deep. It's not even that deep.
Right.
I can't tell when the times that I've listened to Joe Bonamassa if he's ever had his heart broken. I can't tell. And But it doesn't really even matter if he's had his heart broken or not. He probably has. The fact that I can't tell or that it's not being communicated means that he hasn't tapped into that authentic performance. Because as far as we know, all the great blues legends, they're all faking it.
Right.
We don't know for sure if they really truly have a deep emotion when they're just holding a single note and milking it for everything that it's got. And it just feels like your soul is cracking in half listening to it, but they elicit that response from you.
Right.
Where there's a certain percentage of the guitar population where when they listen to Joe Bonamassa, his attempts at approaching that sound and feel fake. And there's really not a great way to describe that or explain that to people who like him, love him, get him, whatever. There's different tastes for everyone. I just am tickled pink that Marc Maron's on our side.
I mean, I think that's who he is. Like, I stopped listening to his podcast probably 10 years ago. But probably 10 years ago. Not for any given reason. I just kind of moved on to a different phase.
Sure.
Yeah. Some of those were like 3-hour episodes and I was like, no, thanks. But I think, Marc is Marc. Like you feel like you know who he is. And even when he would play guitar at the beginning of some of his episodes, like you kind of got a sense that he was just a guy thinking about what he was doing, and who was playing from a place of wanting to play, if that makes sense.
Oh, totally. Which I think is so super duper relatable.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I've only listened to that one Joe Bonamassa album for what it's worth.
Every now and then I seek out a music video and try to give him another chance. And I watched the whole thing, and at the end of it, I'm like, this could have been anybody.
Right.
It could have been anybody. Like it doesn't matter how many notes he played or, like how well he played or anything like that. It just,
I'm trying to tap back into whenever that I say last album, the one album we talked about, on the show. It was like Royal, I don't know.
Oh, I don't remember. The Royal Albert Hall?
No, what?
Isn't that a place that he played?
Yeah, but this was
deal.
I mean, not everybody. Obviously, we've never played Royal Albert Hall, but yeah, that's like a legendary venue,
right?
No, it's like Royal something. Royal. I keep wanting to say Royal Blood, but that's something else.
That's the band, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. But whenever that album came out, I remember listening to it, and the thing, and again, this is like a weird thing to describe. It's hard. It's almost intangible. But do you remember, like, I don't know, from like 1994 until probably the present day? I haven't listened to one in a while. You're like, where the hell is this guy going? Whether it was like Stephen Curtis Chapman or Michael W. Smith or DC Talk or the Newsboys or Skillet, like once they got big or whatever, like Christian like the mainline Christian rock music, and like pop rock and rock music kind of all had this thing where when you would hear it without context, you just had this feeling. You could tell, like, I feel like this is like a Christian band. I feel like this is CCM. Like Joe Bonamassa has something about his production that is kind of doing the same thing, that whether or not the feeling is authentic, it's something about the production value. And like I said, it's intangible. I don't know how to describe it.
Let me meet you where you are.
Feel it.
So in our list of ads that we could go through, I didn't pick it for this episode, so it'll maybe be the next episode. There's a guitar, a John Petrucci guitar.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I want to go watch some video because the ad lists like songs or albums that he used the guitar on. I'm like, I want to go listen to some of this.
It's like actually one of his guitars.
And so and they were selling it for like $70,000 or something.
Wow.
It has his beard hairs in it. No, it doesn't. But I went and scrolled through some of the album, the Dream Theater album that he used it on. And I had a very, very similar experience where I'm sitting there and I started to have a thought. The thing about shred and the thing about a lot of styles of guitar music where the emphasis is on the technical ability of the player, not so much on, hey, here is a song that is going to move you. And the people do get moved by Dream Theater and by shredders and stuff like that. But the emphasis really, really lies on these technical aspects so heavily that it does start to feel like Christian music, because Christian music, no matter what it's trying to sound like, it has a different central focus.
Right.
And that central focus that is pulling away from, let's make a toe tapping song that people will want to listen to. Mm-hmm. It's more about, we have a mission. We are on a crusade to present the gospel of shred. We are on a crusade to present the gospel of lead blues guitar. And it feels like you're being proselytized.
Mm.
It feels like there is a message other than, wouldn't you like to enjoy a song?
Right.
It's Christian music. It's just a different gospel.
Right. I feel like that's really deep, actually.
I love that you got there on the same day, but from a different direction.
Yeah, it's just, like I said, to me, it's a feeling.
It's an instinct.
Yeah.
There's a very instinctual thing that, there's so many people these days where half the population love them and half the population are just completely put off by them. It's an instinctual thing. It's a divide in our species.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an uncanny valley sort of thing. It really is.
Right.
Where there's something about Joe Bonamassa where, for a lot of people, he lands in the uncanny valley. Like, what is this? Who is this? Is this human music? It's something's wrong. Something feels off. I don't like this.
Yeah.
It's off-putting for some reason. You sit there and you try to study it and like, well, no, that's a good riff and that's really good playing right there. But man, why is it landing so strange with me? I wish Marc Maron was here right now to agree with us or disagree or call us hacks or whatever.
Call him up.
I did meet him one time. Steve, you probably heard the story.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Should I tell it?
Tell a story.
For the folks on the surface of the planet. So I met Marc Maron at NAMM very, very briefly.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in the early days of the podcast before I think I had just barely started doing demos. Not that matters at all. So I run into him at NAMM. He's going one way. I'm going the other way. And I put my hand out to shake his. And he's like, oh, okay. He was shaking hands like, big fan. And then we had these cards to promote the show. So I handed him a card and I'm like, hey, I'm a podcaster too. We're a guitar podcast and blah, blah, blah. And I hand it to him and he's looking at me like, yeah. And I could tell he's just ready to go home. And I'm looking at him. He's looking at me. And I go, you're not going to listen. And he looked at me and was like, yeah, probably not. And then he turned and walked away. And it sounds rude, but it also was like, if you're a fan of Marc Maron, it was like a perfect Marc Maron moment to be inside of. Just be like,
Yeah, it's authentically Marc Maron.
Right,
it's almost like you want him
to
do that.
It's a beautiful memory for me, and I'm glad that I got to experience that moment with Marc, and he probably doesn't remember it all, and he shouldn't.
You don't know that.
He probably thinks about it every day.
Yeah.
Just like me.
Twice a day.
So anyways, let's move on. Let's not make the topic super long like last time.
Well, we did this 10 minutes faster than last time.
I feel like that was a super effective topic, though.
It was.
Like, we really got into some deep, pithy areas of that.
Right.
Yeah, Steve.
This episode's brought to you by Reverb.
Hell yeah!
I had this realization the other day. I'm not saying that I'm going to put stuff on Reverb soon, but like I've had this idea for one of my pedal boards I just wanted to mess around with it. And so the first step to putting pedals on a pedal board is taking pedals off of a pedal board.
Of course, yeah.
And my life is so busy that I have to break things. Like I cleared a pedal board. I have not repopulated it. I just have an empty pedal board sitting there. It's like step one, check the box, empty the pedal board. And I'm moving to, before I move to step two, which is pick out the pedals I want to put on this pedal board, which I've mostly figured out. I've got a bunch of pedals on a shelf on the wall, and I've got a bunch of pedals in a bookcase, and then I've got all the pedals from that pedal board, and they just ended up on the floor in front of the bookcase. And I had the realization that like
Your house is now a pedal board.
I kind of have like too many pedals, maybe.
Don't say that,
maybe,
Steve.
I don't know. Like that's how I just feel in this moment.
You've only been collecting pedals the entire time we've done this show and never sold anything.
And even before. But I had the thought like, well, if I want to sell any of these, I can just put them all on reverb.
Mm-hmm. And then you could turn them into something else.
That's right. I could sell a few of them and then I can turn them into something else. That's what reverb is good for.
An amp, a guitar.
They're a massive marketplace.
Did you know people sell shirts on reverb?
They do sell shirts on reverb.
They also sell albums on reverb.
I almost feel like if it exists as like a pedal, guitar pedal, or maybe even a guitar from like a brand, there's a decent chance it's been on reverb at some point.
Oh,
like
totally.
Another, unless it's like a true one of one, you can probably find a buyer for it on reverb. So,
and if there's a really good chance it's on reverb or it has been, and because of that, you can use reverb as a price guide.
Yeah.
You can find out what it sold for, what you should buy it for if you're looking at it somewhere else. Reverb is the blue book of guitar gear. It's just the truth.
Yep. After you downsize your pedal board,
here we go.
Whatever, like maybe you're like, I should get good. You can head on over to TrueFire. We got a link down below. That link, it will allow you to sign up for 14 days of free all access. That all access is going to give you access to every video on the TrueFire website. They've got like famous professional lesson givers like Steve Vai is on there. I think Steve Howe is also on there. No, I'm thinking of Stu Ham, another SH name.
They have the list is unbelievable.
Yeah.
If you saw the list, you wouldn't believe the people that are over there waiting to teach you how to play stuff. Yeah. You want to learn how to play in a style. You want to learn how to play in a theory. You want to learn how to play in a song. They've got it there. They got it all. Thousands, tens of thousands of lessons from extremely talented, sometimes very well-known guitarists and musicians. Like it's an impressive, just what's the word I'm looking for? Resource? Library?
Library is a good
word. What's grander than a library?
La biblioteca. I don't know. Why did I do the Italian hand when I said it? Library in Spanish.
I don't know.
Archive.
There is the word I was looking for. Is it an expansive, impressive archive of things that you can learn and be taught by people who are leagues, thousands of leagues more talented than you will ever be.
Yeah, check out, like I said, that link is below, but if you're a very good listener, it's truefire.com/60-cycle.
And I really do recommend everyone go and exploit the 14-day free trial.
Just 60-cycle.
Like if you're coming up on a vacation, like some paid time off or something like that.
Yeah.
And you're like, I got a week where I want to, like, I'm going to be sitting at home. Might as well like get as much free lessons as I can out of this TrueFire thing. Like just get over there, sign up for the free thing and just exploit it. Yeah. Just exploit, watch as much as you can and then cancel it at the end of the trial. And then months later, you're gonna be like, man, I want to brush up on that. And then you're going to pay. Yeah. And that's how we got you.
Ryan, my thought with that too is like, once you feel a little more comfortable with your guitar playing skills, maybe you want to challenge your creativity.
Oh yeah.
You're going to head on over to chasebliss.com and you're going to check out their fine selection of pedals that are more creative than you are, but they can help you be more creative. Maybe
they're going to make sounds. The Chase Bliss pedals. Yeah. Make sounds that can't be taught on TrueFire. That's how crazy they are.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't learn how to make bleeps and bloops like that from Steve Vai, not without a Chase Bliss pedal. First lesson to make those bleeps and bloops, he's going to bust out a Chase Bliss pedal. And you're like, man, I need to get one of those. Yeah. If I'm going to learn how to bleep and bloop like that. Chase Bliss audio. They're not audio anymore. Chase Bliss everything. Chase Bliss everything. They make pedals more creative and better looking than you are.
Go to chasebliss.com, get on their mailing list so you know when their latest stuff gets released.
Or their earliest.
Or their B-stock sales.
Oh, yeah. or like limited art runs and stuff like that, you want to be on the email list, even if you're just a flipper.
Oh my gosh.
You got to know when stuff is coming out. Beat the flippers. You know what? That's the message. Beat the flippers. Get on the email list. Buy them up because you actually want them. Prevent the flippers from getting their grubby, dirty little fingers all over those beautiful Chase Bliss pedals and stealing them so the rest of the world can't have them. And then they flip them onto resale on Reverb, sponsor of the show.
Ryan,
Yes, Steve.
this ad was sent by RJ.
Oh, man. We're getting ads from our crew member over here.
About this listing, mint condition Spearfish in international
Are we going to let him
orange,
win if he wins?
exhibited at NAMM 2024. In my humble opinion, this is the finest tune I played, and I'm sad to list it, but life happens. Is that the brand, Tune?
Did we not see this at NAMM?
I don't know.
I don't remember seeing this there.
Spearfish specifications, patented element, 22 fret, multi-scale neck, fretboard, flare, geometry, Dunlop 6100, yeah, that stuff. Bare knuckle, polymath pickups. Is that like polymath, like the band Polymath?
I don't know.
10-way wiring via freeway switch, swamp ash body with international orange finish, carbon fiber pick guard. That is a guitar. I don't remember seeing this at NAMM.
I don't either. I think I would have stopped to look at this thing pretty hard. I imagine that would have been over in the boutique display area over by the Cowers and stuff like that.
That could explain why I didn't see it.
I feel like it would have.
Because I always get a little lost over there.
They want 16 grand for this thing, by the way.
Wow.
My question for you and for everyone out there in YouTube viewing land or podcast listening land, does this look like a $16,000 guitar to you? Because there's some contrasting things going on here. You have this very high tech treatment of the neck and the neck joint and the headstock and the carbon fiber pickguard and this multi-scale thing and the complicated switching, the freeway switch that gives you 10 different things and whatever, and this very modern kind of individual saddle piece bridge situation. And then you have a body that is a very modern shape, very forward thinking shape, but the treatment of it, the treatment of the look, like to a layperson, probably looks like it's been carved with a spoon. Like it looks like it's been really, like the body contours have just been chiseled out with something large and rough, and then they didn't smooth it out. When I look at it, I'm seeing ocean waves. Like
Yeah.
I think that this treatment looks beautiful. I think that it looks stunning. I think it's incredibly eye-catching. I wouldn't normally care about this shape at all, but that chiseled treatment catches my eye in a very fun way. It almost looks like an orange rind. It looks like an orange that's been sliced in an interesting way. You're seeing the peel and you're seeing the internal of the orange and all the little cells of the orange and the white meat.
It's interesting because it's like that live edge.
Is it really a live edge though, or is it?
It's not. It's just in that style.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out what this. It talks about this fretboard geometry. I've been hung up on that, trying to figure out what exactly is going on. Maybe it's the neck is doing things on the back that I can't quite see.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to really tell what they're talking about without holding it, I'm sure. Or maybe they're talking about the geometry of the extended scale. What is it called? Multi-scale neck?
It's multi-scale.
Yeah, because the low strings have a longer scale than the high strings.
Yeah, and maybe that's unique to this. Yeah, going back to that question, does this look like, what did you say, $16,000? It doesn't.
It's tough because I think that that carving of the wood, I think, is going to put a lot of people off. But then for the right person, like someone like me, I see that and they're imparting what I like into something that would normally be very inaccessible to me.
Yeah.
A high-tech, like high-priced, top-tier, sort of very boutique shredder guitar. And then they've incorporated this visual textural element that excites the caveman part of my brain. But I think it's also very well done. It is also like really lighting up the design parts of my brain.
My feeling on this is it's one of those things where I think if I saw this guitar at NAMM in person and like picked it up and touched it, I would be like, yeah, I get why this is $16,000. In the photos, there's just something like I can't quite wrap my brain around. This is an episode where apparently I can't wrap my brain around anything.
Steve's brain is like a blanket or a scarf.
He just wants to wrap around things.
Or an anaconda. Steve's got a brain like an anaconda.
What does that mean?
It's long and slippery. Wants to wrap around things and squeeze all the air out.
I do like the headstock, like the neck, I think looks
Steve's brain
really
wants
cool.
to swallow your guitar whole.
What?
Steve's brain wants to eat John Voight in the jungle.
Yeah, I know. I get it. It's an Anaconda reference. Steve's brain wants to get killed by Jennifer Lopez?
Well, I don't know. That tracks.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. It sounds on brand.
Yeah. I don't have anything else to say about this guitar. Do you?
No, I don't. I said it all.
Yeah.
What do you guys have to say, though? Let us know down in the comment section.
Yeah.
That's where we want you guys to talk to each other, in the comment section.
If you want to hear us say things that maybe don't get said on normal YouTube, you can head on over to patreon.com where /60 Cycle Humcast, where every once in a while we upload a video behind the paywall. We don't do it a lot.
Well, we've been doing it every week, but we've been publishing the end song, but with our commentary over it. Yeah. So every week there has been exclusive Patreon content. Yeah. It's a song.
I'm hoping, we over time maybe expand that out, find some other things maybe to announce, maybe even if it's just early announcements to put them on Patreon. But I don't know, but things do get posted early. Actually, this a couple weeks ago is a perfect example. You had the JHS launch, but you got the podcast episode, all the files that I need up on Sunday.
Did you spoil the launch to the Patreon?
Oh, I guess I did, didn't I?
Oh, I guess you did.
Because I posted the audio the night before. It's okay. Germany spoiled it on like Saturday, some German company.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that because I didn't really know what was in that episode.
We didn't say everything about it. We didn't show a picture of it or anything like that.
But
we did accidentally spoil it for our Patreon.
We do upload the audio ad free. So if you listen to this on Player, the normal version, it has ads that Spotify inserts. But if you listen to it through an exclusive Patreon feed, it is not. What's the word? It does not have the Spotify inserted ads.
There you go.
So there's things there. Anyway, that's it.
Should we open some mail?
Let's open some mail.
Oh, yeah. It's mail time. Do we want to start with the little one or the big ones?
Let's start with, I don't know what that little one is. The big ones it says on the box, so I'm less surprised about those. So let's do the little ones.
No, I meant the little yellow envelope.
Do we want to do the little yellow envelope?
Yeah, you do the little yellow envelope first.
Sure.
And then I'll crack this open and I'll take a look what's in here so we won't be surprised by it. Oh, I bet I know what's in here.
Well, I think
I bet the thing in here is going to be the thing that you want.
In that case, don't cut it open with a
I don't know how to open a box without cutting the contents of it.
This mail is from Thumbfin. We've talked about them before, but they make these little suction cup.
Yeah.
In fact, you've got one over there on your Longhorn.
Yeah.
But these are these little suction cup thumb rests for bass players, and I guess anyone could use it. They said a bunch. I'm actually going to give a few of these away.
Really?
To the Patreon. I think there might be a prototype one in there, and also RJ's going to come over. I need to leave one for him.
Thumbfin. I met this guy at NAMM, and I was immediately impressed with the product because I like to mess around with bass every now and then. I've always wondered, do I want to have a thumb rest? Would that help me out? But I'm not experienced enough at bass to know where to put it, where I'd want to put it. I don't want to drill into a bass and then change my mind later. These are thumb rests with suction cups, and they hold on really, really nicely.
Yeah.
It's surprising how well they hold, so you can experiment with where you want to put your thumb rest on your bass. And then if you find a spot that you really, really, really love and you want to commit to it, then you get the screw-in tie.
Yeah, they come in all sorts of different colors. Obviously, we've got red, green, pink, black, blue here. I don't know if that's every color, but it's a bunch of them.
That's every color of the rainbow, Steve.
And yeah, to that point, I would even say like if you're not trying to experiment or anything and you just wanted to mess around with it but not permanently change up your guitar, like or your bass, say it's an expensive bass and you don't want to drill into it, like you got something to do there. It's awesome. So thanks, Thumbfin. Check them out. Where's the website here? Thumbfin.com. Check them out. I'll have the link down below as well. So yeah, super cool.
So Steve, you remember a couple weeks back?
Yes.
When we did an episode
on
guitar accessories.
We did.
And which brands had the best and worst guitar accessories.
Yep.
Well, like a week after that, Fender hit up all the guitar content creators that are on their affiliate program. And we're like, hey, you want to check out some of our guitar accessories? So we've got the chair here, the bench chair. We've also got
Ryan. You may have just doxed yourself.
I know. I'm going to have to blur a bunch of stuff here. We trashed this one pretty good on the episode. We've got the clock, and according to the box, it's way bigger than I thought it was going to be. Also, Steve, in this little box here, I'll get this over with. It's the tweed hat.
The tweed hat. That's exciting.
I knew you would want the tweed hat.
So this is the, hold on, can I get this open? Mic noises. This is the Fender bleacher chair. This actually is one of the ones I thought was pretty cool.
I think it's cool too.
If you want to rep your favorite guitar brand at your favorite sporting team, or if you go to a concert, like some concerts, they have like the cheap seats or bleachers or whatever. This is perfect for that. Or maybe they've just got those like hard seats. This would also be perfect for that. It's pretty lightweight, compact. It's got that tweed vibe.
Are you like me? You don't care about sports at all, but you still get invited to your friends' sporting events, but you want to show the world that you care about things other than sports? Why not get a Fender bleacher seat pad thing?
The other thing this bleacher seat pad thing has...
You know, Steve, you could sit...
so far off mic.
You could put it back there and I'll talk. You can put it on our bleacher seat that we have built into the ship.
Accessories. Can you say accessories, Ryan?
Accessories. Look at, he's doing it. He's sitting in the back part of the ship now.
This is more comfortable than the stool.
Hopefully next week we'll have new chairs. Where are the hats, Steve? There you go. So huge thanks to Fender for sending this stuff out to us, even though we were pretty rough on the clock. I'm going to crack the clock open now. I thought the hats were really cool, so I'm stoked that we got a hat. I think that seat that Steve is sitting on right now is really cool as well. I'm going to cut my belly open, trying to open this thing. Come on. This box is being a rascal. Where does it open? Okay, now I think I see what's going on now.
You opened opposite ends.
I know. I was trying to open this side. Oh, they really wrapped this thing up. Here we go. So the hat, it's like a printed tweed. It's not real tweed. But this is real tweed, I think. Or it kind of reminds me of my classic 50, my Peavey, where it was kind of a plasticized tweed. I don't think it's a real tweed. I want to say when we talked about this clock on that episode weeks and weeks ago, I thought it was this big. I thought it was like 5 inches by 5 inches. I didn't know it was going to be huge like this.
No, this is the size I thought it was.
That's really the size you thought it was?
It does look better in person than on the photos. I will say that. But this is the size I thought it was.
It's definitely like whatever the material really is or not, it is wrapped like an amplifier. But it has a bit of like a rubbery take on a tweed.
Yeah. It's kind of a Tolexy tweed.
What do you guys think?
Tweedlex.
It looks like it wants a single, a double A. It wants a single double A to function. It's got a little hanger back there. Is this the clock you want in your man cave? Let us know what you think about this. We'll have a link down below. Fender wants people to know that they have a bunch of new lifestyle accessory stuff out. Click the link to find out about all of it. We've got the clock, the seat, and the hat. Got the full set.
That's a good looking hat. I do think it's a good looking hat. Like you said, it is like a printed tweed pattern, but it's still pretty cool.
No, I think it's a rad hat.
All this stuff looks pretty good. I'll be honest. It looks better in person than it did on the website.
You know, I don't want to trash Fender too much here, but I've long said that Fender's photos don't really do their products justice. Like, especially like a lot of their guitars, they photograph them really flat with really flat lighting, and it's really hard to tell what's going on with the finishes. I don't know how that applies to any of this, but I will say that I thought that clock was tiny. But yeah, this is, I mean, the badge on it is fun. It is like a 3-dimensional kind of rubber badge.
Yeah, I like that.
I do. You know what? I don't know. I think this is really cool. I think this is a really fun hat. If I saw someone wearing this in public and I didn't know that this existed, I'd stop them and I'd say, "Where did you get that hat?"
Yeah,
I
they'd
love
say
that Fender hat.
Fender.com.
So yeah, thanks Fender. All right.
I just want to say, I appreciate this analog clock a lot more than I thought I would.
It's yours.
I'm kind of wondering.
Put it on your desk at work.
I don't have a desk at work. We have
Make
an
it
open
your
office.
make it your desk at
This
work.
is how
It's
I
big
claim
enough.
my open office. I have some different thoughts. We'll have to talk about it.
Okay, Steve and I will talk about the clock some other time.
Ryan,
Yeah, Steve.
this isn't the last
We
ad.
got
This
two
is the
more.
second ad was sent by, where is it?
Are we doing Must Be a Jagstang?
Must Be a Jagstang. It's sent by Colby.
Mm-hmm. I want to know what you think about this thing because we're
Sold.
both Jagstang owners.
$450. Fender Jagstang. Fender Jagstang Sea Foam Green. Very fun guitar to play. Unsure of the provenance. I purchased it off of Craigslist about 6 years ago. Based on neck stamp, I believe it is a vintage 1973 Fender Mustang on a refinished Jagstang body. Unsure if the body is authentic Fender Jagstang or just some other Frankenstein guitar part. Selling as I'm moving. Selling of Marshall MG. I feel like that's all nonsense.
Yeah, we don't need to know about that.
Some scratches, scuffs as seen in the photos, occasional issues with the one pickup settings. The -1 position doesn't work. I don't know, but I don't know what that means. The -1 position doesn't work.
One of the sliders doesn't work all the way.
One of the small screws missing from the machine heads. It doesn't affect playability. Let's take a look at this Fender Mustang neck. I mean, it does look like a vintage neck. It does look like a refinished body. So just getting that out of the way, those would be things that I would agree with.
Well, here's what I want to know, Steve. They sold this thing for $450, and it did sell.
Yeah.
Which sounds like a great price, in my opinion. But I want to know, do you think that body is refend or do you think it's parts? I've been trying to figure it out, and my gut is telling me that it started out as a parts body. I don't know why.
I don't know where this may or may not have come from, but I don't think this is a Fender body at all.
That's what
is
my
that what
gut,
you mean?
That's
like
my gut.
It's a kit some kind of kit.
Like
Jagstang.
I think they got a Jagstang body off of eBay or something like that.
Right.
And it's someone cut it off a template or something like that.
Man.
It looks just and you can see the grain through the edges. So maybe they had a Jagstang and they stripped it down, but I think that they came into owning a Mustang neck, a vintage Mustang neck.
Right.
And they're like, I got to put this on something. And they said, you know what would be really fun? A Jagstang. So they got on the eBay and they found a parts Jagstang body and made this thing happen.
This is just such an odd mishmash of parts.
Yeah, yeah. Everything's a little bit like, I don't know, that stock, you know?
Everything's a little bit wrong.
Right.
It's all, where's yours is over
It's
there.
over there.
Is it worth going to get? I don't know.
No, but it's something that caught my eye. I don't know if you'll be able to remember what your switches look like.
I already
on your
know where you're
Jagstang.
going.
The switches, it's like a rounded tic tac shape.
Yep, it's
on
wrong.
this. Where on mine it's squared.
Mine is also squared. That is a change. You know what else is weird about this?
What's weird about this, Steve?
You can see the ball ends on all of the strings sticking out of the
they wrapped it wrong.
vibrato. No, is that what it is? Is it wrapped wrong?
Yeah, because the strings are supposed to go under that cigar, and then the balls are supposed to be on the front.
It's not that I don't
I also
trust
have a
you.
Mustang right there.
Oh, okay, that's what it is.
They installed the strings wrong. Maybe they have it dialed in to be more like a stop bar.
On the Jagstang as well, at least on mine, it looks like it is on yours. It says dynamic vibrato on the plate of the vibrato, which this doesn't have. But then it's like, so it looks like an aftermarket Mustang bridge, tremolo assembly, vibrato assembly, but it also all looks old.
Well, they've painted the body.
Yeah.
And it's clearly like a home rattle can job of some sort.
Yeah.
And there's little parts where things aren't quite right. It's been chipped or like foam melted it or something like that. The fact that it's so thin that you can see the wood grain through it is interesting. I don't hate that part. I like the light relicing on the body. But it is just catching my eye as like, this is a fun project. I think it sold for the right price. I think 450 was correct. I think that was a good price for this.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I think that instinct for the neck to be a vintage neck. I mean, is there a serial number on it anywhere? Maybe they took the neck off.
I thought they mentioned that marked on the heel said that it was vintage, but looking at the headstock and the nut and the tuners, I am getting a vintage vibe from it.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you a specific year or anything like
no,
that.
but
My gut
it all
tells
looks,
me 70s.
It all looks old.
Yeah.
It's got those plastic tuners, which I think is very much like a 70s.
Has Fender ever redone the plastic tuners on a Mustang for a modern Mustang? They should. They should do that. I think it's fun. PRS is doing it on their Strat. Fender, do it on a Mustang sometime.
Yeah. I'm looking to find like a kit guitar on it, but I'm not. It's not the easiest thing to look up.
There's definitely people out there selling Jagstang bodies. Like that's
yeah.
I don't think they're going to sell full kits, but if you get on eBay, you're going to be able to find a Jagstang body. I'm pretty sure, or even Reverb, sponsor of the show.
So the I will say that the rounded holes for the switches, again, like that doesn't even seem like, oh, we're making a knockoff kit thing. It feels like
aftermarket parts,
an aftermarket part thing. Those look pretty squared off.
I've never seen that done before. At least I don't remember it. Seeing the rounded slider switch holes like that.
And then the other part of it that's actually interesting to me is that, I'm not saying it is, but like the bridge pickup that they chose for this is definitely
not stock.
Not stock, but it is doing the vintage DiMarzio thing. So it's like whoever put this together knew what the parts, unless it was just an accident that they threw DiMarzio in there, but I
think they were being intentional.
That was like the original Jagstang bridge pickup.
Sure.
For the Kurt version of this guitar. So it's like they're making, feels like they're making very intentional choices.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think this is a slop job at all. I think it's got a parts guitar vibe to it.
Yeah.
I think at $450, if this thing didn't say sold on it already, I'd be telling someone to go buy it.
Yeah, I think
that's cool.
I think the question is, I wonder what the provenance is they have for that neck.
This is not an investment piece as far as the body goes.
No.
If there's any provenance for the neck, I think that's something worth considering into the price.
Yeah.
I think it looks vintage. I think you're getting a little bit of a deal there, getting a vintage Mustang neck. I know Mustangs don't go for a ton of money, even when they're vintage. But I think if you're looking for a vintage feeling guitar that's a little quirky, I think this is cool.
Yeah. It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
especially for $450.
I like the color on it. I like that it's aged a little bit. This is a Jagstang that invites you to do whatever you want.
Yeah, thanks.
Get rough with it on stage.
Thanks, Colby. This last ad was sent by Michael Krause. It's called Burnside.
This is a headless guitar.
All right, this is a rare Guild Burnside crossbow guitar with Rickenbacker toaster pickups electric guitar. This was $600. This rare gem is going up for sale. Selling for my brother-in-law who has lost the ability to play. To the best of my knowledge,
sorry to hear that.
It was made in 1989. He had Jim Muradian swap out the original pickups and install the Rickenbacker toasters in the late 90s. It's a through-body neck Steinberger trim bridge with which Muradian also beefed up using larger screws to go deeper into the body for stability micro tuners. The action is fast and easy, and of course, no headstock. There's a link describing the guitar. It's certainly unique, and build quality is great. Plenty of life on the frets. One small ding in the back, which I took a pic of. Most importantly, it just looks badass. Open to fair offers. You know, for $600, this would be a lot of fun.
It really would. And here's the question that I have.
What's the question you have, Ryan?
So this is a headless guitar.
Yes.
And headless guitars have been a hot thing for the past couple of years.
So hot.
A lot of people are really into headless guitars these days.
That console is so hot right now.
High performance shredder type things. I see a lot of people playing headless guitars on the TikToks, Instagrams, YouTubes, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
I never see them play anything vintage or older. It's always new modern stuff. And that might just be part of, you know, guitar content creators wanting to cover stuff that's new. I'm wondering if maybe it's more about the hardware. Like, are headless guitars more about the hardware? So the people who want headless guitars now, they look at a modern headless guitar and they want the bridge hardware, the modern tuners, you know, think like modern pickups, the multi-scale lengths and stuff like that. So are old headless guitars just not attractive to the modern headless guitar player because they don't have all those bells and whistles? And so is it not really actually about being the headless? It's just about the hardware.
I think it's probably a combination of both. I will say I'm pretty sure friend of the show, Adam Patrick Johnson from Cover Band Confidential, has a Steinberger Spirit, which would be a vintage headless guitar. Though I believe those are still being made, so maybe his isn't vintage, but it's at least a vintage type.
Right. But that feels more like a solid nostalgia piece. Like he's beginning to doing his cover band. So if you're going to do like an 80s set or whatever, of course you're going to bust that out.
But yeah, you're right. Like most of your modern genty metal, you know, modern shred metal, the people we were talking about earlier in the topic, you know, they're doing this Strandberg thing, or they're doing any of a number of brands that are kind of, capitalizing makes it sound gross.
Gospel of shred musicians.
But I think it's, you know, that are kind of doing that Strandberg thing. eArt has that. Zeru Guitars has that.
There's a ton of
let's be honest, like Carvin, was Carvin doing headless?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Before Strandberg?
Oh, I don't know about that.
But I know they definitely have been doing a ton of them now. I feel like maybe they had a headless Holdsworth before Strandberg was like big, but I don't really know. But yeah, a lot of brands are doing it.
It feels like it's just more of like a modern gear fixation than it is a fixation on headless guitars as a concept, as a whole.
You know who doesn't and has said that he will never make a headless guitar?
Paul Reed Smith.
That's right.
I saw that article or post or whatever.
Yeah.
I
think I saw it on.
He will never make a headless guitar until John Mayer asks him to.
No, he does. He doesn't say like doesn't like disparage them.
No.
He's just like, no, we're into like a more traditional build here. The brands that do that, good for them, basically, you know, but that's not
unless Herman Lee wants him to make a headless guitar with a dick hidden in it.
It's true.
I'm kind of starting to realize PRS, Paul Reed Smith, will do any style of guitar if the player is famous enough. He made some really weird guitars for a Creed guy.
Oh yeah, the friggin' Tremonti with the super long points, the ridiculously long points.
So if Paul is saying I'll never do that, he's just waiting for the right player to come along to ask for it. Like, come on, let's get serious here.
Now I'm trying to think who's a super famous headless guitar player.
You know who I think would be into this? Who I could see playing this guild though?
Who?
Paul Gilbert.
Oh yeah.
It's got like real strong Paul Gilbert vibes.
Yeah.
I mean, going back on topic to this guitar, the subject of what we're talking about here, it's really wild that it's got Rickenbacker pickups. What a wild choice for this. I wonder what it was being used for. Like, what kind of band was this being used for?
Right.
Because that's such a wild choice.
But even being a Guild in the first place, I mean, I guess, yeah, Guild had the whole, like, was it the X79?
Guild had some wild stuff in the 80s and 90s. Like, all those brands that we think of now as being, like, classic 70s or even, like, kind of throwback vintagey sorts of brands, they all tried to stay current in the market when the BC Rich 80s came around and the shred metal stuff and dive bomby guitars and stuff. They all tried to, even Gibson was trying to come out with hair metal guitars that had wild shapes and wild hardware and pickup loadouts and stuff like that. That's what you had to do to stay in business in the 80s and the early 90s. You had to have wild guitars.
There's also a bass version of this.
Of course there is.
In order to get these Rickenbacker pickups in it, it had to be retrofitted. So that's why there's those massive
absolutely
pickup rings.
I'm assuming that these came stock with humbuckers.
Yeah.
But with those big pickup rings, it gives you excuse. You could put whatever you want in there. You could put a Jazzmaster pickups in there if you wanted, just a little extra routing. You could put wide ranges in there. You could put P90s in there. They've given you permission to put whatever you want in this guitar. And it's like $600, right?
So this is just one paragraph from that gad.net. I'm going to make a note, gad.net link. So you can read more about this model, but I just want to read this one paragraph because it's funny. This guitar feels surprisingly well made. The neck appears to be a set neck design, though it's at least possible that it's a through neck or even a one-piece monster cut with a CNC machine. But I have a hard time accepting that theory, even though I just wrote it. Why did I even entertain such a notion?
We got to get this guy on the show.
Aside from the lack of sleep and possible stir craziness of being inside for a year and a half, thanks COVID-19, well, I've got nothing aside from thinking of how cool that would be. We need this guy to write our newsletter.
Seriously. This guy's got chops. I like his sense of humor.
All right. There's the pickups. And anyway, you guys can see the link. This is a very long article.
So this thing is wild and weird looking. It looks like a bug. It's got an insect quality to it, but also, I mean, it looks ergonomic. It's basically, one of these super strat style shapes with the long upper horn to really pull the guitar into position on your body. Like the further out that horn goes, the more balance it's going to be on a straps for this situation. So I bet this thing's hyper comfortable, even though it looks super duper wild. It's got curvy edges. It'll fit against your body nice. There's belly cuts and stuff like that. It's got the neck through thing, that super smooth neck joint. I don't know. I feel like I don't really understand why people who are into headless stuff aren't into collecting headless oddities like this. I just don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people are doing this stuff. But
if you're into headless guitars, let us know why you love them down in the comments.
This looks like the sort of thing that I'd buy if I was looking for a headless guitar and I wanted to get a little weird with it. But why? They're all weird. All the headless stuff looks weird. So why not this type of weird?
Yeah, like you said, it might be those features. I don't know a lot about this Steinberger vibrato system, so maybe it's like not good to work with. Maybe if it fails, the parts are hard to come by. I really have no idea.
I don't know. All right. Is that the last one?
That is the last one.
So we had this one, we had the Must Be a Jagstang, and we had the Spearfish. I'm going to vote for the Spearfish. I think that thing is cool.
I was going to vote for the Jagstang. And now if it ends up being the Jagstang, RJ's going to be mad at me.
Oh, I forgot that RJ sent the Spearfish. Well, I spun last time and you won. So you spin this time and maybe you'll probably win again.
Was that felt like not a good spin.
No, that was a great spin. Congratulations, RJ. Well, Steve will contact you and we'll probably just end up sliding it into
People
your
are
pay.
going to look at that spin and be like, that was it wasn't a fake spin.
There's nothing fake about that spin, Steve.
All right, this song.
That was a real good spin. You should feel proud of that spin.
Oh my gosh. There we go. the email app on iPad is just the absolute
I never
worst.
use it.
Well, it's the worst, man. Just trust me.
I believe you.
This song was sent by Brandon. He says, "Hello, Steve and Orion. In your most recent podcast, you requested your listeners to send in some original songs. So here's something I recorded with people from my Dungeons and Dragons group. We call
fun.
ourselves Legend Lore and write songs about D&D tropes or things that happened in our games. This song includes an electric ukulele played through a Behringer Super Fuzz. That sounds dope. And a 6-string bass played through the chorus setting on a Mesa FD 800 multi-effect pedal. I sang the lyrics because my wife couldn't make it through them. And the yell at the end is one of my daughter's baby sheep. Her name is Fawn, the sheep, not my daughter. There's some explicit language, so discretion is advised. Enjoy or don't. I'm an email, not a cop." Discretion is an explicit language. The song is called "Fuck the Monsters."
All right. We're off to the races already.
Creepiest of cryptids creeping through the forest looking for a victim to go. I'm here to let you know I'm a creeping on my own. I'm a bard and my heart is in tow. Your eyes flare red in the dark at night as I struggle to find where to start. The devil may have stolen a piece of your soul, but the only thing I want is your heart, because I want to fuck the monsters. I want to fuck the monsters. The back room's hungry as a cryptid could be. Then you turn the corner, what do your eyes find? It's a candlelit dinner with me. They call you a creature, they call you a fright, they call you a monster, but I'll call you every night because I wanna fuck the monsters.
I'm gonna have to listen to the lyrics when I edit this.
Oh man,
I was listening to that funky guitar tone back there.
Yeah. Well, it's funky because it's an electric ukulele, right?
Oh, that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh man, someone needs to tell that McGee guy, hey, you've been using the wrong instrument. Ukulele into Super Fuzz. That's how you do it.
That was fun. I enjoyed that. It actually reminded me of this band I used to listen to like years ago called Concept Car, which nobody is gonna know what I'm talking about, but that's what it reminded me of. It also kind of reminded me of there was a band, I think they were called like Harry and the Potters.
All right.
That were actually like kind of underground popular. They were a Harry Potter themed band, obviously. So they would dress up in Harry Potter stuff, and they had songs called
Wouldn't
like,
it be funny if they just didn't reference Harry Potter
they had,
at all?
Yeah, they had songs called like Save Ginny Weasley and like Wizard Chess and whatever. And it really gave me that. It's like an East Coast indie sound.
We had a band here. I don't know if you ever saw them. I saw them a couple times before I knew you. I think they were called Brought to You by Genie. And it was one of these bands where the main guy in it, I saw him in like 3 other bands, and he ripped every band he was in. He just
I think
ripped.
we played with them.
We might have. Oh, at the Epicenter maybe. Their whole thing is they did like really fun punk rock, but with like really excellent instruments, covers of Disney songs.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Aladdin, Lion King, you know, that whole genre.
Yeah.
I remember Disney songs.
I remember playing with them.
Remember when Disney was trying to win Grammys and Tonys with every movie?
Yeah.
That's what they were focused on. Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching.
Stay grounded.